right, welcome back to Waste Some Time with Jason Green. I am Jason Green. It's Thursday, a little different today. We're live on a Thursday. We had so much fun yesterday, thought we would try it again. They got these things called daily vloggers. I want to be a daily vlogger. I could barely get out of bed every day, but maybe this is the future of the interwebs and influencing and all those things. So maybe I'll just keep coming back until you guys don't want to see me anymore. I decided that everyone was having such a good time watching the 80s cruise tour diaries that maybe we'll try this. If you're an insider in the world of social media and YouTube, if that's your thing, then you know that most people upload their videos in the morning. And because what happens is it then has the day to get reach and maybe get picked up, maybe even go viral. But I think they have a shot for that. But in this case, we're trying something totally different. We're premiering videos at night. Everyone seemed to enjoy it. We were having a good old time. And we'll see if anyone shows up. Most people know that we're here on Wednesday. I didn't want to come empty-handed, so if you know what I mean. So I brought along my good friend Johnny Monaco, who will be joining us in just a little bit. He'll tell you about his experiences on the cruise, and right after this show, we are going to world premiere day 2 of the Monsters Rock cruise. Never before seen. We'll all watch it together. That's going to start at 7:15 Pacific Standard Time. So you're going to want to get comfortable, get some popcorn, whatever it is that you do at home. Get ready, because we're going to have some good times right after this. I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit cranky yesterday, slightly irritable. There's some changes to the software or whatever it's called, and it froze up and there was a glitch. And I really want to give you guys quality entertainment. And I just got sidetracked. And then there were some comments that were just stupid. Everybody is an expert. Oh my God. And I couldn't believe it got into my head. I usually am cool and calm. And so I thought maybe we better have a cool, calm influence on me today, so that I wouldn't get so crazy. There's no one cooler and calmer that I know than Johnny Monaco. Hi, Johnny.
Hi.
Good to see you. I'm glad that you can join me. It was nice of you to watch along yesterday. I kept saying this is a terrible show, and Johnny said it's fine. And there's only a few people's opinion I trust, Johnny. I trust yours, because if you don't like something, you're very honest about it.
You're not helping any by not being honest, right?
You reserve it, though. It's rare that I hear you say, "Man, that was great." And there is stuff. There's guitar players, there's bands, there's things that you really like, but there's a lot of subpar things out there. Anyway, I hate to be negative. There are people starting to pile in, 150 people. I'm sure a lot of them have questions. A lot of people wonder sometimes, where's Johnny? And for those of you who may be new to this show, Johnny Monaco was the lead guitarist and vocalist for a band called Enough's Enough. He was in the band LA Guns. He was in a band called Tantric. He's done it all. More importantly, he has a great solo career. And he's currently plays lead guitar in the Stephen Pearcy band. And that sort of came about from us chatting on this show. There's interviews with Johnny if you want to know more about his career. Johnny, you'd be amazed how many people tune in who are new to you or to me or to any of this. And so I want to make sure that people know. And then for those of you who enjoy seeing Johnny, Skylar's in love with Johnny. Skylar is a very big Johnny Monaco fan, and he is happy that you're here, and so is that guy. Cabo Wabo gave you a nickname. Hi, John, spelled Jon.
Well, we go way back.
You were Cabo, yeah. All right, let's see who's here. The Countess is here, has been with us for a long time. Say hi, everyone. Julie Keller is here. Julie is great, saying hi to Jason and Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
Julie gave me my Halloween 3 toys that are behind me right there. All right, let's see. Jolly Jake is here, and Jolly Jake says, "Hello, party people. People who watch this show obviously are party people. Hey ho, let's go, Jim Symington. Angie is here. Clint is here. Mark's gas station. Tara is here. And speaking of Tara, it's funny, Johnny. I didn't tell you this story. You might have heard me say yesterday. We were on that '80s cruise, and there was a girl that I dated back in the '90s. A very short time. I don't know. We were dating when Princess Diana tragically died, and I really only remember it because of the chick, not because Princess Diana. And she was on the '80s cruise. A friend of mine reached out and said, "Hey, did you see her?" And I'll be honest, I don't know if I would have recognized her. The people on the '80s cruise look different. They don't look like anyone I dated. You know, I mean, got to remember this going back 30 years ago. But so the '80s cruise posted a picture of her, and I thought, what a small a world it is that someone who lives in Staten Island, she's married now and has her own miserable life. I don't know if it's miserable, but most life is. Anyway, especially on Staten Island. Anyway, I thought that was funny, and I thought I would share that with you. I don't remember seeing her. There's a few people on that cruise. If I saw them again, I would remember them. I'm sure you feel the same. Here is Lorraine. Here is Bridget. A lot of people say that my audience is all elderly men. Not true. I'm proving that you can change your demographic. We've got a lot of ladies watching, in addition to middle-aged and seniors like us. Izzy saying, have a great live show. David is here. Chris is here. Michelle Simon is here. California Dreaming. Moose Green, evening all. Mitch says he loved the '80s cruise diary. Well, if you want, I'm going to give you a tease of tonight's '80s cruise diary. We went to see Tron on top of a boat. These were playing music while we were trying to watch the movie. And Johnny decided to go investigate if he could unplug the power. And you will see that in this episode tonight. You will see us contemplating if you could survive falling overboard. You will see. And Johnny, I'm going to say, I don't like to always say nice things about you, but there is a guitar solo in the video that I included that is just great. I mean, yeah, we'll see what you think. You're hard on yourself, but you want to see some shredding. You stay tuned because Johnny will deliver. Angie says, "Gabba Gabba, hey, yes, we accept you, one of us." And Skylar enjoyed the world premiere. Well, you'll enjoy the world premiere of part 2. Marshall, Jason and Johnny on a Thursday night. Life is full of surprises. That is right. Dude Man, hi Jason and Johnny. Michael Perez enjoying the surprise. Francis C says, "I'm looking great." Good. Well, I'm happy to hear that. Johnny, I make fun of all the influencers and people, but yet I put on a faux leather jacket and eyeliner to sit in my living room and do this. So maybe I'm guilty too. Who knows?
I want to look nice for the people.
I try. Yeah. People are excited to see what you're up to back there constructing.
I don't like, I see myself in the videos and people complain and they say I look like I walk like a 75-year-old man and I'm hunched over. I wasn't unaware. I mean, maybe there's ways of I Googled it and there's ways of fixing it. They say to walk with your chin up, keep your shoulders level. And to go heel to toe. Seems like a lot of work. And move your arms more. And I think a lot of it, though, is that boat was moving around a lot. You're trying to walk on ground that's moving. But I do tend to hunch around a little bit. So I'm trying to fix that. I'm trying to be more conscious of it, of walking around like the hunchback. Yeah, my back hurts a little bit, and I have my hip. There's something wrong with my hip, so maybe I'm babying it, and I don't realize it. I don't like this angle. But thanks for noticing, everybody.
I thought your walk at times was a bit. I thought it was a work, and
no,
because occasionally you do wander. Stony Jackson is watching from Fort Lauderdale. We will be in the Fort Lauderdale area very soon, so stay tuned. And Julie says, you always slay, Johnny, so she knows that you're going to put on the solo that you're going to speak tonight. Yeah.
Julie's great. She moved 3 times. She had to move 3 times since we saw her last.
Yeah, it's something
It's a lot of
about
moving around.
she's on the land, I think is what they call that, or from the law.
The lamb. She
Is it lamb?
Yeah, I think so. I think the second time she had to move because they found Ace Von Johnson under her bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know how to warn her about that. She was posting.
That's not true. Phil Lewis was hanging upside down in her closet.
Mm-hmm.
Evidently, he was there for 3 days. No, she's a big fan. She likes the LA Guns. I tease her. I kid her. I kid her a little bit.
She does. I'm glad that you mention it, though. First of all, I want to say hello to Marge Raymond, who's watching. Marge Raymond is such an incredible singer. She was in a band called Flame, which had Jimmy Crespo from Aerosmith. Clarence Clemens played on their records. At one point, they were going to do an Aerosmith band that was an offshoot of Aerosmith. It was going to be called Renegade. Steven Tyler was in rehab, and the label wanted a record, and they were going to make this thing called Flame. Marge Raymond was the singer. Jimmy Crespo played guitar. Brad Whitford and Tom Hamilton and Joey Kramer were involved, and this was going to be like the lost Aerosmith record. It's out there if you guys, on the internet. Maybe one day something formal will happen. But Marge is incredible. She's been on the show, and she'll probably come back at some point. So I just wanted to say hello to her and get that out of the way. Okay, yeah, there it is. Renegade is the name of it, and there's little sneak peeks, but it's really a cool, especially if you're an Aerosmith fan. It's sort of a lost piece of Aerosmith history. Who knows if we'll ever even see Aerosmith again? I'm so glad I went to that residency because, Johnny, all of our favorite bands, at some point, we're not going to see them. Give it 5 years, 10 years max, and every legendary act. You're members of Pink Floyd, you're members of Led Zeppelin, you're members of Who, the Beatles. They're not going to be here. And, it's a miracle that they can play now. Enough's enough. Oh, wait, they're not there now. But so...
You haven't been able to see them for the past 8 years.
Yeah, for sure. But so you got to see the artists that you like. I see that, Hall & Oates broke up. I mean, it's sad. Yeah. And Chris Rock made the joke. No one really knows what Oates does, but somehow Hall can't do it without him. And but they got restraining orders against each other. It's really serious business. But Hall is playing here in Vegas with a new partner, Elvis Costello. So the show is called it's Hall and Costello at this show. Now, I think Daryl Hall will play his own set and Elvis Costello play his own, but maybe we have to go see it.
I'm always up for a Costello show. That last one we went to, I'm still thinking about it. It was great.
For Johnny's birthday, for those who haven't watched it, we sat front row. You got another birthday coming up, don't you, Johnny? I mean, not too far off.
Oh, yeah, that's right. God.
Sorry to remind you.
Gosh. Sweet. Yeah, I guess I do have another birthday coming. That's probably why my back hurts. That's probably why I'm walking so funny.
Somebody says Menudo will live on, though. I'll tell you a funny story. People like to ask, what was the first concert you ever saw? The first concert I ever saw was Menudo. We were in school, and they said if the seniors would like to take a trip, you can skip class for the day. That's all I ever cared about. I went, okay, what's the concert? They said Menudo. I said, I bet you there'll be a lot of hot panochitas, Latinas there. So I was always thinking ahead of myself. So I said, yeah, why not? And I always thought that celebrities were better than regular people. And boy, would it be fun to see it. At the time, Ricky Martin was in Menudo. I got to see like the core lineup. And it was crazy. It was like Beatle mania. We went to this event center. And it was like they only played like 2 or 3 songs. I think it was all lip synced. And but people were going nuts. It was the beginning of craziness. And then I remember growing up in Manhattan, my friends and I went to a hotel. We wanted to meet Iron Maiden when we were in high school. But the New Kids on the Block were in the hotel across the street, and that was also Beatlemania. Girls jumping on limousines, trying to break the windows down. And I remember Bruce Dickinson going by, and he shook his head and he said, "This is rubbish," and nobody was jumping on his car or much of anything else. But anyway, that was my first concert, the great Menudo. And yes, they had a great episode. Lisa points out on Silver Spoons. I love to talk pop culture. Johnny does as well, and we can talk about it for ages. Is that your walk, Johnny, that did that?
uh, trying to
Wow,
hold the phone. I don't.
new angle.
I don't know what I'm doing. What is this? Will Hunt. Will Hunt just texted me.
Oh, nice. Will Hunt should come on sometime. Will Hunt is the drummer for Evanescence, and he was in Slaughter, and he does occasionally fill in with Stephen Pearcy. Nice guy and a nice drummer. I will tell you that I was talking to Downtown Julie Brown. That's a name drop segue on the cruise. And I said, I would love to have you on my show. And I always say, I know every idiot is monetizing some stupid thing and wants to have you on. But I think I could do a really good job. And I have 3 million views. And so anyway, she said, of course I come on. She says, I'm a terrible interview. I don't have anything to say, but do your research. And I said, okay. And then she said, I'll really guarantee that I'll do the show if you can get me a pair of Will's drumsticks. I thought that's strange. Okay. Really? So Will gave her a pair of his sticks. It turns out that Downtown Julie Brown is a drummer. And it was really fun. I saw her. She did a Club MTV night aboard the boat. And she played drums, and she was pretty good. It was fun. So, okay. And she hosted a drum clinic with Marky Ramone. It was at 10 a.m. I didn't think I could get up. And I had another clinic appointment that morning trying to get cured off the wild turkey. But, she's a woman of the world. Somebody said, his name is John Doe. He said, enough's enough is the new Menudo. But it's the opposite. If you get young, they fight you. You have to be old. I mean, maybe not. Maybe the new members are young, but is there? I mean, I hate to just bag on enough's enough, but Johnny, you made a video called "I Was in Enough's Enough." Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I used to be.
I used to be. Yeah. Do you think that video will be available for public consumption?
I was thinking about putting it out. I was editing it more because I keep having like different. I want to change stuff around and keep tweaking it and adding stuff. I mean, every time I put something out like that, I might get people like, "Oh, you're being mean." I mean, there's nothing on there that's not out on the internet. It's an instrumental. It's an instrumental song. A lot of guitar playing.
I can see where people might think it's mean, but Johnny, that your playing is insane. And I'm not sure it's a style of playing that everyone's seen you do. I mean, this is Yngwie shredding. I mean, it's crazy. And but I think people would like it.
Yeah, it's an instrumental tune, and I just kind of have it going along with, basic. Chip went on an interview at Stern, and I just took like the audio from that, and then put music to it. And I think it's kind of funny. That might be a little mean at times, but there's nothing on there that he's the one saying all that stupid stuff.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I have a feeling you'll see it at some time. Lloyd says Mark Goodman interviewed Steven on YouTube for your information. Well, that's not completely true. I like that people are telling me what Steven does. I got to manage the guy.
Everybody knows everything. I am so tired of it. Everywhere I go, everybody knows just enough about any subject matter to like tell you what about it, but not enough to know that they're completely wrong.
That's a big thing. I'll just answer this. Yes, on the Monsters Rock Cruise, and you will see a little bit on the day 3 video. Steven did a 60-minute interview with Mark Goodman. I was there, obviously, and yeah, you can watch it, clips of it on YouTube. You can watch clips of it on my YouTube, more importantly. And Mark Goodman will also be here. Very nice guy. We ran into each other a lot of times on the cruise and hit it off. He's a New Yorker as well, and I think a really important part of music history, MTV. He was the guy who explained what MTV was going to do in 1981, and everyone remembered. He sort of had a throw, or if you can say that. But Johnny, you're right. Everybody, social media has given a soapbox to the stupid. Everyone now has a platform, and everyone is an expert, and everyone will correct you. And
Yeah.
I'd like to see these people's credits and resumes. Show me why
And
you were so.
and all of a sudden they're a podcaster and
Mhm.
they're a content creator for the absolutely nothing they know. And then they kind of like poo-poo people really doing it and just play it off like, oh, anybody could do that. That's easy. I'm going to do it too. And then when nothing happens, they get upset.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about this briefly before, but there was a lot of people who made fun of people on TikTok. Some of these girls who dance. There's a girl named Charlie D'Amelio, and her family are now superstars, and they got merchandise. And she was the most viewed TikToker. She was just a kid, but she knew how to dance. And people go, "These stupid TikTok kids." Older people refuse to accept that it's a
Mm,
younger
yeah.
person's
Yeah.
world, and so they get mad and they don't want to
Oh,
accept anything different. But these kids who are doing
right.
this, and she's a multimillionaire now, there's work that goes into this. You have to have something that people find interesting. And in
Of
our
course.
case, with just chatting, this is just an organic thing, but people sort of like to have the fun. But you have to have the goods in some way. And yeah, if you do it right, sure, there's some money to be. But people, these politicians that we have out there, they're all pushing 100 on either side or any side, and these Supreme Courts and all these people, their time is going to come. They're just like your
Mm,
favorite rock bands, except they're not talented.
yeah.
And the time is going to come, and young people are going to be in charge. And so we better learn the words like slay and sus, because that is the future, I think.
Yeah. I keep spelling it wrong. Every time I spell sleigh, Santa comes up.
Mhm. We're learning, Johnny. I mean, we're learning. John says he
Crumbs.
hopes to
Crumbs.
see he hopes to see more of Debbie Gibson in part two. She's still hot. Uh, in part one, if you haven't seen part one, you got to go back and watch it. I said there's only one woman on this boat that I would put a pineapple on the door and swing with, and Michelle guessed it was Debbie Gibson, and she was correct. Debbie Gibson, I believe, is 53 years old, and she's very hot. In tonight's video, you're going to see Electric Youth dance, and there'll be no music. You're just going to see the dance because of copyright issues. She is hot. If you have a foot fetish, and some people like that. Johnny, are you into feet at all?
I don't know what I don't know about that. I don't really doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
want this. I don't want to take off the sock and then you see that. That would be not good.
Right, like
Or
someone in LA Guns.
hammer
The
time.
but you're not looking to get toes in your mouth, are you? For fun?
Well, I mean, maybe right out of the shower. But I don't know that it
Right.
would do anything for me sexually.
Me
I
neither.
mean, uh, if I stub my toe, the last thing I want to do is pull my pants down and jerk off. I'll
Never
probably be
thought
in a
about it that way.
fetal position crying because it would hurt so bad. But I don't know. I know some people that do. They go out. They make money.
Mhm.
They make videos of manicured feet, and then they spooge all over it. I think that's the I think that's
The
the
scientific
term
term,
that yeah for
the
the
medical.
feet
Yeah.
medical
Well, they also stomp on
podiatrist.
things.
Oh
People
yeah.
like to see women stomp on bugs. I don't like that, but grapes and things. But
Mm.
I don't get it either. I sometimes wish I had a foot fetish because I'd be at the beach all day like a perv, just looking at toes. I mean,
Yeah.
God had to
Well,
punish me with a butthole fetish. You know what I mean? You can't see
well,
that,
well, you could put a toe in a butthole.
but you can't see it everywhere you go. Do you know what I mean? It depends where you hang out. But
In my
these
building, I see it a lot. See it here, there in the
yeah,
gym. They walk around. They're just daring you to not look at it. I don't
you
like
must have
looking directly.
strippers.
I don't look directly at it because they're just getting like off of a bench press, and you know that it's all sweaty down there.
Mhm.
If I'm
Yeah,
gonna look at, it's got to be a clean slate.
right. Or a wink at you. But you must have some strippers in your building, I bet, laying by the pool.
Yeah, this building's full of crazy people. This one girl works out, and I was in there working out to pump some iron. I work out now.
Mhm.
And she walked by and she like kind of looked at me and kind of went, and I glared at her as I do with any girl. And then her butt, it looked like a fake butt. Like it was like so out there. It was like a man-made or something. You know, it didn't look like it fit the body.
Hmm.
So I tried to look at her, but then of course, and then she looks at you like, mm. And I see her in the gym, like doing the leg presses, but that looked like surgical. It doesn't even look human. It's weird. That's too big. You know?
I agree, and I think that's the thing now. Some of these people, I think, are going to regret if they got implants and things like that when that trend is gone. When the Kate Moss trend, to pick a timely person, when that trend comes back over these big giant butts. But anyway, for those of you who do have a foot fetish, unlike John and I, Debbie Gibson performs in her bare feet. She actually takes off her socks and she gave them to somebody in the front row. I would have liked to have them, but I couldn't get there fast
He immediately stuffed them in his mouth.
enough. I have a feeling her fans are called Deb heads, and they pay a premium, and I think they get access to her socks. Let's take a look at some more of the comments. Huh?
I'm not into that.
You should try.
I just
By the
ordered
way,
some new socks.
Yeah. By the way, Johnny, you and I, we're going to do an auction soon. Maybe we'll do
Oh
it at
yeah.
your place, but you could get some Johnny collectibles, some Jason collectibles, fun stuff. Maybe some guitar lessons with Johnny. We'll put up all kinds of fun platform things, and we'll do that here in about 2 weeks. Okay, so I'm trying to get through some of your comments. Daryl says he still has the Debbie Gibson Playboy. I've got it around here somewhere as well. Playboy is so airbrushed, though. When I was younger, I wanted to see every woman possible naked, except maybe like the Golden Girls, but famous. And now I think that maybe I'm maturing. I don't know. Agent Orange says, I know a girl who has a foot fetish. She's what we call a size queen.
What?
Yeah, she's got two things. I don't get the foot thing. I'm a team player though. If I knew a chick who said, stuff these feet in your mouth, I mean, maybe I'd do it. Who knows? That hasn't come up much in my ridiculous life.
They would have to be really clean. I wouldn't want any like SOX particles or anything in there. It can't smell like vinegar. It would have to be right out of the shower.
Right. Yeah.
Some people like it stinky though. They like it like that.
No, there's a musician here in Las Vegas whose name I won't say, but who really enjoys those feet. I think that's what he's into. Those hoofs. He loves to get them, and I think he likes them right out of the shoe, right from the source, right from the tap.
Do I know who this is?
Yeah, a little bit.
You better warn me because I just bought some New Balance, and
Yes.
I ordered 6 brand new gold toe socks, $26 at Macy's. And I don't like to mix them. I like once I get the new ones, I throw all the old ones out. Otherwise, if they get convoluted and mixed up, then it's like Armageddon. You got like a new one and an old one. And I just wait till they wear a hole in them, and then I wash them and I save them and I use them to clean the stove.
It's smart.
It works. Sometimes I don't even clean them. I just because it's a rental.
True. There's a little debate about Debbie Gibson's Playboy. Mitch is pointing out that it was actually the March 2005 issue. I believe Debbie Gibson got screwed out of the cover of Playboy. That issue has Paris Hilton on the cover, I think. And Debbie Gibson is on the inside but didn't get a cover. If you get the cover, you can sign them and sell a lot more copies, as does Tiffany. Tiffany also did a Playboy. All right, let's see. Desmond would like to buy us dinner tonight. The problem, Desmond, normally I would come on here and I'd say, if you guys want to buy Johnny and I dinner, we're happy to take it. But Johnny is on a whole new regimen, and he's not eating this outdoor shit anymore. He has a cooking thing, and I think you can go to his Facebook and watch him. Oh, that's not you, but he has a cooking thing, and that's where he's at. Angie is saying, "Oh yeah, Tracy has nasty feet." Angie, have you seen them personally? And there's that. And
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
it's like a cloven hoof.
Mhm. I heard a rumor that they're going to be on the boat next year.
Oh
I
yeah.
heard a rumor that we're going to be on the boat next year. I'm not supposed to announce all these things. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, but I've been talking about doing like some get-togethers, and if Johnny's up for it, we'll do it together. Where you can come meet us before a show, and I'm not looking to charge people for that. But people keep saying they'd like to come say hello and waste a little time, and I get cranky with these other people who have no viewers and they're suck, and then they're hosting events. I don't know. Maybe I should be more positive.
Hmm.
Where Georgia would like to know when we're going to go for sushi again,
I don't know.
and
I'm off sushi because I heard about parasites, and
Mhm.
I ate so much of it. Everyone's like, "Oh, you for sure have a parasite." And then I saw this thing on YouTube where this guy pulled this long parasite out of his butthole, and he didn't know what to do with it, and he was in the stall, and he just grabbed the toilet, the middle part, and he wrapped it around it as it was coming out of his butthole, and he took it into the doctor. I would lose my mind if that happened. So I'm not sure, and now every time I go into the sushi place and I look at who's making it, like some Spanish guy, and if this guy's gonna make my sushi, he better really Miyagi it. I want to really see some authentic guy back there. Everywhere you go,
Right.
they're just a normal dude. How do I know he's cutting it right, or they left it out too long, or didn't, a little bacteria, next thing you know, pulling worms out of my asshole. I'm not doing that.
Mhm. I don't get the fish when we go. If you've noticed, I avoid the mercury. I eat there like it's a Chinese restaurant, or I get like the fake rolls and things. But
Yeah, well, that's okay.
um,
The rice is a
yeah.
lot too. The rice is what gets you as far as, eating healthy. You have to just eat like just the fish part. I'm eating salmon tonight, but I'm cooking it in the oven because I don't want to get a tapeworm.
No, I understand that. Belinda Carlisle in Playboy. Yes, she was. She might have been my favorite. The thing I used to love about Playboy is when I was a young man, I wanted to see everyone naked, like I said, famous people. And
Mhm.
I remember Belinda Carlisle. She was much older when she did it, a lot of plastic surgery, but she looked good. I liked it. I like to see little imperfections. I wish they wouldn't Photoshop so heavy. I like to see a little cellulite and C-section scars and things of that nature. A little aureola discoloration, whatever you got.
Ugh.
Life is meant to be real, but they Photoshop so much, and then these bushes have become. They got these fake bushes in there. They Photoshop the bush. It's too much.
Ugh.
Um, but Debbie
Yeah.
Gibson, Tiffany, and Belinda Carlisle. I can't tell you which was my favorite. I mean, Debbie Gibson is super hot, but she's super thin and in shape. She looks like what you'd expect her to look like. Now Tiffany, she's got these big giant knockers. If to speak in medical terms, and she's kind of hot. They gave her a fake bush, I believe, as well. But now that and now the Playboy's not even a thing anymore. It's not like it used to be. I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah. Also, bushes aren't a thing anymore either, and maybe in
No,
Italy.
yeah, no, the bush is out. The bush is out. Bridget says here, I'm just here hoping Johnny will wear his Xanadu T-shirt when he plays Lava Cantina in Texas next month. Let's waste some time in Texas. Well, Bridget, we would love to see you, and
Oh
maybe
yeah.
Johnny will wear his Xanadu shirt. Sounds cool to me.
There's the X is silent. I wore that once. I could probably wear it again.
Hmm.
I don't have very many. I don't have a lot of cool clothes. Someone commented that I'm wearing the same thing in the cruise video.
That wasn't totally true.
No, I got the pants or the shorts the day before. I had you order them on Prime for me,
Yeah.
and but I was wearing camouflage last time, and everybody was wearing them. I felt like Don Jameson walking around, so I just
Yes.
I'd want to wear those
Were
again.
you
'Cause
unfunny? Were you unfunny as well?
impossible.
Um, Will Stephen be at Monsters on the Mountain in Gatlinburg? We love that place. We had such a good
Yeah,
time. As of now, he is not invited. Maybe when somebody cancels or you realize that 90% of the bands stink, they'll go for something better. But who knows? But there's big plans for Steven and other, a lot of stuff going on.
Okay.
All right. Let's
Do I look a little thin?
see.
Do I look thinner? I think I look
I
thin.
think you do, Johnny. I mean, I don't know.
Right? It's only been a couple weeks, but I'm telling you, man, if you just do a little bit, it makes a big difference. I'm just lazy. I don't, work out all the time. That's all I do. I work out.
Mhm. It's we've been talking now for 35 minutes, just having some fun, and I'll get to some of these questions. This one here from Michael is going to be a little difficult, but I'll do my best to have Johnny explain it to you. But I do want to point out, even though we're all just having fun, 261 people here is not bad. I know people who can't get 261 videos in 3 years views.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, usually we have more, but tonight no one knew we were coming on. This was done an hour before. But anyway, right there on the screen, stick around after the show for the world premiere of My Life on the Road Day 2 of the 80s Cruise. You can watch that, and I will tell you, it's funny. Johnny's only in the first 3 parts, spoiler alert, so you better watch it before they made him fly home 90 hours on a chicken flight. There was rooster.
That was the worst.
There's the link. It's in the description. It's the video. It's in the comments. So what happens is we're going to talk here for another 40 minutes or so, 30 minutes or so, and then we're all going to go over and watch. And you can chat with us. It's a live premiere, and so you won't see us, but we will type. And Johnny, so the question is from Michael was, what kind of amps do you use live? This is a tricky question, but Johnny will explain it.
Well, I use an amp modeler, atomic amplifier, but we have a backline of Marshall JCM 800s going through the cabinets. So I just go out of that. Right, 900s, correct. I just use the amp as a power amp. So I go out of my pedal into the return of the effects loop, and then that goes out to the speakers. A lot of people just go directly out of their modeler to the house, but then you don't have cabinets on stage. And Stephen Piercy likes it loud on stage, so he wants it to come out of the cabinets. And then the other guy has something sort of like that too.
Yeah, and Matt has something too, right?
That's right. Yeah, he's got a Tone X. They both do. And it's the same thing where the amp is a profiler, or the pedal is a profiler. So it captures the sound of whatever amp you like, and it puts it inside of the pedal in, like, a chip. And you could put like 100, 500, 1,000, how many amps you want in there, and you could select the amp instead of bringing an amp to a gig, because we can't obviously bring an amp on a plane. I mean, you can, but we're not.
Some stupid bands bring 25 Penguin cases with them. It's ridiculous for a bunch of shit that you could easily get on the back line. I've done a little profiling in my time as well. Chris says you do look thinner, Johnny. I agree. Maybe it's a tapeworm.
Cabo Wabo, the amp aficionado that he is, has to say fake Marshalls. A lot of people poo-poo stuff like modelers or like technology. I think they call those people troglodytes.
Yeah. Well, poo-pooing of the amps, Johnny, is a thing that people do. When I worked with the former drummer for RATT, he was against it. The kid Blaze was using something similar at the time. I forgot the word, reactor or whatever the hell those things are called, but something similar. And he hated that drummer hated it. The thing is, he couldn't tell until someone told him or he saw it.
The drummer. What does a drummer know about an amplifier? What do
this guy
know?
Knew nothing about anything, but he thought the idea would be you should have this wall of Marshalls. And so if you didn't tell anyone, though, if you went to see a band like Night Ranger on stage who have no amps, you wouldn't know the difference. Or Guns N' Roses, most bands now don't have their amps on stage. Now, someone like Guns N' Roses, there's actually someone who's controlling Slash's pedals for him, other than maybe the wah. Everything, he's got a head on the side of the stage. But you wouldn't know if Johnny didn't tell you he was using one of these things, you would not know the difference. In fact, you might think that it sounded better.
I mean, a
Coffee
lot
and
of
tea.
them do. The difference is the feel. As a guitar player, you might feel a difference, but if you're good enough to, make that up, then it's just more practical to roll in with that than using a different amp every night, unless you have a special amp that you're bringing to every show, which is very rare. And people that do that are old school.
Mhm. Or old. Duchess Dakini is here. Lady Astrid, looking forward to checking out the cruise. Well, you're going to have some fun with us tonight. I'm trying to be nice today.
Oh,
Marge,
it's really tough. It's tough.
that's why I brought you. Marge says, I want to go on one of those cruises. I was on a cruise and same from the band from Vancouver. It's a band from Vancouver. They were a great rock band. I sang some Metallica. Marge, you'd be great on those cruises. Marge has an incredible voice, so maybe that will happen sometime. Okay, I'm a little behind in the comments, but Bobby Love says, I was hoping to meet you guys in Vegas with Stanley, but my plans changed. So, Bobby, are you a friend of Stanley? Johnny had a My Dinner with Andre experience with Stanley. I don't know if you want to talk about it or not. I don't know.
I was fine. He called me up and wanted to know if I was busy, and I live on the strip, and he wanted to meet and have some dinner and talk a little bit and talk for like 4 hours,
Did he piss himself?
maybe prior.
Mhm.
But it was fine. I mean, we talked. I've known him for like 30 years. But
Definitely
um,
part of that Chicago circuit. There's a lot of these bands that came out of there. Johnny is a little younger than some of those other guys, but you obviously were a fan of some of it, and then got to know some and tried out for
mm,
some. And people are anxiously awaiting to see a Stanley interview. He told you that he would do it. He has ideas for the way he wants to do it. I'm slightly scared that he's going to pull like a Great Cat move. Great Cat would only do the interview if I did it exactly what she did, and I think Stanley is very in control of what he does. Do I think
mm.
he's going to answer a question or address, was this an act? Was this a gimmick? Probably not. It would still be really entertaining to see him, especially for people who were fans of that music or just fans of an interesting gimmick. 30 something years later, no one's really spoke to him. Johnny, you probably had the longest conversation anyone's had with him in
It's,
ages.
it's really, I mean, that band live. Just Google some of those shows. It was great. The combination of people, maybe not separate, but together, what they did, I I just thought it was the best thing I ever saw when I first saw it. It's still really good. Go watch it. Nothing like it. I mean, anybody can go up there and just play tunes and solos and be boring, but he actually was doing something different and mixed in with like a Chicago vibe sound, like a power pop sound, but like a heavier thing that's never been done. The power pop thing's been done a lot. Enough's enough off Broadway. The Pez band, Sticks, obviously a little bigger, but that power pop sound was in Chicago. But he took it another direction, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a fun record if you haven't heard it, and you'll see him on the show at some point. Uh, uh, Benny points out Rod Morgenstein tore that backline drum setup. It's not the arrow, it's the archer. This is something I say all the time. Rod Morgenstein is one of the greatest drummers you will ever see. I've toured with Winger. He would tell the drum tech, "You just let me do it myself. I could do it faster than tell you what to do." He's a lefty, but yeah, he
Yeah.
can play anything and sound good, and that goes for guitar players as well. You money your guitar, your home amp, and he can probably make it sound really good. Good playing is in your hands. At least the best players I've ever seen. With Sin City Sinners, I've told the story. Brent Muscat was playing this GMP guitar. A lot of people thought it was like a toy guitar, like Fisher Price, and uh, the CIA guy sat in from the Doobie Brothers, Jeff Skunk Baxter, and
Hmm.
he played that guitar like it had never been played before. I've also seen Jimmy Crespo and other guys play through somebody else's rig, but had that a feel in their hand. So I think you can hide behind things, but at the end of the day, it helps if you're a player. Cabo Wabo was saying he meant the people who actually use empty cabinets on
All
stage.
right. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, the same thing applies to dates.
Mhm.
You might have a girl who's been, with a few guys, and then they get with you, and they're like, never. Never had that happen before.
I thought you meant dates, like the fruit to make sure you're regular. I get now. I see
No,
date
no,
girls.
girls,
Yeah, no, that's true. They yeah. Mhm.
women.
Women. Yeah, you're supposed to call them women now. They don't like to be called broads.
I'm
Yeah.
so tired of all, everyone's so touchy, and it's a little male chauvinistic too. The woman's
Johnny, do you know about Vince McMahon?
oh, I mean, what about him?
I don't know if everyone in YouTube is going crazy talking about it, but it's very difficult to talk about what
Is this
he
new?
did.
Like a
It's
new
new.
thing?
He had for those of you who have sensitive ears, maybe put your fingers in them. He it turns out
Ears.
that allegedly Vince McMahon has a strange fetish. Look, the guy's about 80 years old. He's on steroids, obviously, and but he controlled wrestling. He's a genius in a way. He's the PT Barnum. He created Hulkamania and all these things in the 80s. But the brand was still there. He's no longer involved. He allegedly hired a woman that he wanted to have relations with, and other people. He would then pass her around. He bought her toys, if you know what I mean, and he named them after the different wrestlers. Wrestling was always a little bit racist. Roddy Piper beat up a Jimmy Snuka with a pineapple because he's an Islander, and there was always a little bit of that. But the naming might have been a suspect. But even worse than that, he was having what's called a threesome with him and another fella and this woman who worked for him.
Yeah.
And allegedly during you think that's gross? During the threesome, and supposedly the guy is either Vince's doctor or trainer, Vince McMahon decided to evacuate on this woman's head.
Uh,
And when I say
evacuate.
evacuate, I mean number two. And he then said, I'm going to go take a shower. And he told the other guy, keep going, finish up. And what most experts, other wrestlers say is, how did this other guy continue? At what point is that too far? And this is something that I've learned from people who work in the adult industry or people who have too much money. They sometimes get these bizarre fetishes, and normal things are not enough. And the next thing you know, they're in Haiti with a trans, Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you since somebody brought it up.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too good.
Downtown Julie Brown, there's a segue, made a cameo in the vlog. She's in today's vlog even more. You'll see her talking, and it's great. I was surprised to see the 80s cruise attracts an older crowd than the Monsters of Rock. The 80s are older, right? I mean, I don't know. It is an older crowd. I don't want to say one is better than the other, but the people were very polite, and I didn't feel like they were as harebrained, if you will. On the cruise, they give you gifts every day. In your room, when you come back to your cabin, you get a gift on your bed. Not like Vince McMahon, but
that one goes on your head.
The first night was a giant hat. Johnny brought his hat home. Me and Michelle surrendered our hats because it was too big. But it was like a big straw hat. The idea was you wear it when you go to Aruba to keep the sun off your face so you don't get skin cancer. Christy Brinkley, by the way, just had the same skin cancer I had. I had it removed, but supposedly she's doing well. Anyway, that was the first day's gift. Then on the second day, they give you this bag, and you can put your big hat in your big bag if you don't have enough check-ons or carry-ons already. But this is from the 80s cruise. But I thought it was sort of fun to come back to the room every day and have a gift. I don't know which day was which, but this is the 80s cruise drumsticks. It's kind of fun. I don't think they actually. Oh, there it says the logo on there, and this is
I didn't
cool.
get those.
You might have been gone then. I guess this was maybe later, but they gave us that one day. This
cool.
is the 80s cruise pin set. Did you get this?
No, I didn't get any of that. I got the hat and the bag.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the gifts came like at 5:30 each day. So these were really cool 80s pins. And then This is a 80s cruise passport holder. I no longer have a valid passport, but if I did,
I didn't
I
get
could
any of this
hold.
stuff.
Yeah, Johnny got screwed.
Bullshit.
But anyway, I did fight to try to keep Johnny on board. So they gave us that, and then I like this little program
Look at
that they
that.
gave us. Yeah.
I didn't get
Did you
that.
get the program?
No. The first time I got anything, I opened my door and I saw a big hat sitting on the desk. So I immediately went into, Kato. I thought somebody was in my cabin. I was
Mhm.
opening doors and checking under the bed. Evidently, it was a friendly thing. But
Did
no, I
you?
didn't get any of that.
They gave you this when you came on board the boat. You must have got one of these.
No, I would have. I like that. I would use that. I don't know what it is, but it looks cool.
On the last day, they were giving away instrumental bass CDs. This was on my pillow. I couldn't believe it. It's called "Back the Funk Up." Just easy funk bass playing. This was on my bed.
That's not
Did
good.
you get? Did you get towel animals?
No.
Michelle was so mad. We only got one. One day we got a lobster, which I said was better than crabs. Stephen had a gigantic monkey hanging from his ceiling. When they walked in the room, Christy thought someone hung themselves in their cabin. But you never once got an animal?
No.
Well,
I don't think so.
I hope you didn't tip on the way out.
That's the problem. They probably felt I wasn't going to tip, so they're like, "Don't give me anything." Because I told the guy, they came to your door, they introduced you, they introduce themselves to you, they give you their business card, and then if you tell them something like, "I don't need you to do anything," or "I probably won't need to change the sheets," or "Don't worry about it," they're like, "All right." But I was
That's
only
all.
on there for like two days.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Oh, I think I missed the super chat. I apologize. Rummy, thank you so much. Johnny's album LA Vacation is amazing and inspiring. Is Johnny influenced by the Cars? P.S. Does Chip take fashion tips from Quadra
I think he's trying to say
feed?
Gaddafi.
Oh, yeah, yes. I got it. It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I like that album. My new one is going to be sort of like that, but I think it's, I don't want to say better, but it's like, there's all good songs. And I do think Chip looks like a cross between Muammar Gaddafi and Fraser Thomas.
Hmm.
So you can look those two people up.
Hmm. Yeah, you go deep sometimes. Um, Oh, good. Dr. Paul's here. He was missing for a while. We're glad he's back. I thought maybe he took some bad medical advice. I don't even see what he's saying. I just highlight it. Oh, look, here's Michelle pointing out that we got screwed on the towel animal. She's right, but Michelle, Johnny got it worse. And they didn't introduce ourselves. We had some broad, and maybe she didn't like that we called her that, but they weren't helpful. And we didn't really need anything done in the room. We were there a little bit longer, but for those who don't know, and we're almost ready for world premiere time. It's going to premiere at 7:15 at 6:53 local Pacific Standard Time. And what happened was, if you didn't know, Stephen wanted to get off the boat early, so the crews decided, well, we could throw his whole band off, and we could flip flop and put another band on. So the English Beat came and conquered and took the Stephen Piercy band's rooms. Other bands also boarded. I believe Air Supply boarded in Aruba. That thing, they sold so many cabins, they wanted everyone out. They were worried that my passport would expire, not with the 6-month rule. And they told me that a drummer got sick and that I could have his cabin. I was lucky to stay. I did enjoy the experience. I would do it again. I maybe even would do it just on my own time and dime. Fortunately, I'm an influencer, and maybe I won't have to. Oh, wait, there's another super chat. This is from Frank, and his name is Frank Bordenave. I think that's how you say it. Johnny, is that how you say it?
Maybe.
Well, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. And thank you for being a channel member. A lot of great people here. Angie,
now that I think about it, it wasn't a towel, but there was an actual monkey in my room.
Well, that's, yeah. Well, maybe.
Yeah, we had a good time. We smoked cigarettes for like 16 hours. You could drink.
Yeah, they like that. Why did Stephen want to leave early? Well, he doesn't like to be stuck in a place too long. God forbid he lived in the middle of nowhere on a lake. He likes to get out there and do things. And Monsters of Rock, he gets mobbed. I mean, you walk around and there's a lot of people who know him. They're fans and they mean well, but I think sometimes he gets a little frustrated with it. He also likes to be home with the one they call Bear and his cats and all that. But I think he regretted leaving. I'll be honest with you. I can't put words in his mouth, but they stayed in Aruba for a night. And by the way, Johnny, I don't know if you know this, but Matt picked the place they stayed. Matt and Ramel, his lovely wife, they're like the Rockefellers. They found a resort and then took care of Stephen and Christy. I mean, I don't think I think they might have went Dutch. It's a Dutch island. But I will tell you, the hotel they stayed at was the hotel that Natalie Holloway was last seen at. I'm not trying to say it's a coincidence, but she stayed at that hotel, and that is where she was last seen. They had to check the security cameras. She went to some bar, and we know the rest. It's a sad story, but
kind of.
I enjoyed Aruba. Johnny didn't get a chance to see it. He got to see the pier and the airport. How was the airport in Aruba?
It was a mess.
Is it small, like Burbank?
Yeah, a lot of twists and turns, a lot of stand in this line, then stand here, then you got to get your bag and then go through another section. Like you check it in, then you get it on the other side and you move it over here to customs and you go through another line.
I'm surprised you didn't get angry and start throwing things.
No, I mean, we get to do. You're at an airport. I know what you're trying to say. I made it through, on my own. I was in line with the nice young lady from the guitar player from Debbie Gibson's band. Ariel, right?
Ariel is going to be on this. Ariel.
Yeah. I was with her.
Ariel, whatever the fuck.
I'm not used to these new names.
Was it the Little Mermaid?
Yeah, she was very nice. I was with her and a couple people from her band. She had so much stuff. She's smaller than me, and she had this cart.
She might be under 5 feet.
It was like piled with stuff, like guitars and luggage. And she was doing it all by herself. She didn't complain, and I'm like, "Why do you bring so much stuff?" I was trying to, tell her what she needs to get. You got to condense all that. We talked a little bit.
Did you recommend a profiler for her?
I did. I told her, you use the Kemper on stage. They make a Kemper pedal now. It's this big. She was nice. We talked a little bit. I don't really know her.
She's going to be on the show. I've discussed it with her. She'll be on soon, and she plays guitar. Debbie Gibson's band and her dance. Well, no, the dancers got to stay, but they shipped out to get more cabins on board. I'm glad I missed the experience. I did not want to fly out of there.
It was rough. Yeah, it was rough. It was really crazy. I couldn't understand anybody, and you're out of the country. Anytime you leave the country, you're in for a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Over 300 people watching now, just coming in at the 1 hour mark, which means talk for a few more minutes. If you have any important questions.
I'm tired.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you were able to. I'll just put this up. I won't read it, but all right. So anyway, these in just a few minutes, the world premiere of day 2. It's fun to watch these things with you guys and sort of comment along. I will tell you that nobody has seen the video. Johnny has no idea what he's in store for. He's probably going to dislike the way he walks, but it's motivated him to start clean living.
I'm fixing all that. Well, it's not even about that. It's just being conscious. I mean, my feet, I have flat feet, so maybe there's something going on with my shoes. I never notice it because I don't really film myself walking around a lot, but now that I see it, it's horrific. And, of course, people have to bring it up. Got to nitpick everything.
I bet you they
walk. Me watching. Well, that, who knows? But someone sent me a photo from the video clip of you panning, and it was me watching the Pee Wee Herman. It's like just a second of it.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
But you didn't look bad there. You thought you did?
No, I mean, I was unaware. I didn't know what, I was just sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
But that's like kind of weird. I think
Pee Wee Herman, or you watch it?
both.
Okay. Uh, and Skylar, you can do nothing wrong for Skylar. Skylar enjoys your stride.
I don't know. I don't want to be hunched over and walking like that. And now that I see it, it's probably because my back hurts and maybe I'm not aware of it. So I'm trying to sit up
Mhm.
straighter. So if I start walking into a room like Dick Van Dyke, you'll know why.
It's better than goose stepping like John Cleese in Faulty Towers. Yes, hit the like button. That's a good point. Thank you so much. Everyone liked this video, so we do more of these. And then Richie Kotzen's wife was a fun interview. I like that. That's her name now, Julie. She's become Richie Kotzen's wife. I tell you what, she's got a lot more personality than her husband. Um, but so we're over the hour mark. We barely got started. I think the shows that Johnny and I do best are the ones where we just go and we don't know where it's going and we just have fun. But Johnny hasn't been on in a while. I'm glad he's here and we're setting this up. This is a whole new experiment to see will people watch in the evening, and then will you stick around and watch uh, My Life on the Road? We'll find out. I hope so. Yesterday's video is doing okay. It's not setting the world on fire. I think it's in the high 3,000s. The one before that's at 37,000. So make sure you all watch, like, comment, subscribe, do those things. You can go to JohnnyMonaco.com and you can buy some cool stuff, or you can buy it from him during the auction and he'll sign it in front of you and personalize it, whatever else you could need. And he is getting closer to his album. She said she found her soulmate, which that's coming. You will see it soon. We've had a little time off. It's kind of
Yeah,
strange.
I've made a lot of progress. I got my graphics guy just started it. My video, I got a video. I'm making a video. He's like started that. He's in, really excited about it. And he's in Phoenix casting people,
Mhm.
and I'm not even in it. And I remixed this album like 15 times. I'm at the very end, so I think I got it pretty good. So as good as I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out this hip. You guys freestyle. You guys freestyle is the best on YouTube. I think that means they just like when we riff on things. There's so much more I wanted to talk about. Hopefully, Johnny, you'll come back soon, and we'll do more because we
Hmm.
didn't really scratch the surface. Is YT Johnson the new Chris M1234? Yes, I think so. He's been spending a lot of time on the bench. He has stupid comments. They're not so bad that I feel like I need to block him, but he's challenged. Uh, and Okay, will Johnny's new album be on Spotify and will it be on vinyl? Was another question. I think you got to buy the thing, right, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have it on Spotify, but I don't know about vinyl. I mean, I know everyone thinks that's cool, but I don't get it.
It's
I mean, if you're
expensive.
big, if you're yeah, it's very expensive. If you're a big band and you've exhausted all the other stuff, then like, hey man, hey bro, we got it on vinyl now. Is it red? Yeah, oh yeah, it's got red and it's got like the logo. Oh, that's cool. Go home and play it on my turntable that I don't have. Dummy. Yeah, I don't know. I see a lot of bands that have no business putting out vinyl. It's just another thing to make money on, which is fine. I probably won't do that. They're lucky I'm even putting a CD out. I would just go right to digital, but people want
I will be
something.
putting. I'm putting out a 7-inch later this year.
All right.
I just want to waste some time with you. Single. I haven't decided the B side yet, but I am. But it is just to make money. No, because some of you people might like to collect a cool little thing. It'll be a unique item, and because the song plays so much on here, and I think it'd be fun to have. But I would if I had a full length album. I don't know. We've discussed it. It's a lot of work, and Johnny's doing this himself. I got to wrap this up soon. Jesus, 7:05. Okay, we got 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna do the after party. Okay, where is this thing?
Julie Keller said she can't wait for it to come out. Well, guess what, Julie Keller? When it comes out, I'm sending it to you for free. because you've
Wow.
done a lot of things for me and you've given me gifts and you come to the shows. I'm a little upset that you cheated on me with LA Guns and a couple other bands, but I'll let that go for now because I know, I can't really tell you what to do.
No,
I'd
she's
like
at
to get
that age, Johnny, where they're very
very
rebellious.
rebellious. Yeah, you can't tell them, you can't hit them anymore. But so I'll let it go. But I am for sure sending you a CD, so you're on my list.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. This is called a ticker, Johnny, right there.
Oh,
You
what?
can't get Lyme disease from this, but tick. But yeah, hit subscribe. Imagine someone's
Oh,
watching who hasn't subscribed. I mean,
yeah.
it seems ridiculous. Johnny, are you going to watch the video with everyone?
Yeah, I have to make salmon, but I'll watch it while I'm doing that. I this is all new to me, so I'm trying to figure out how to cook stuff. It's a nightmare. I'd rather just go to Carl's Jr. or In-N-Out, but you're not going to get this kind of a physique by going eating hamburgers all the time.
Yeah, I can tell you about that.
I went into
And
the woods once and I had a tick. I found a tick on my leg once and I almost passed out.
mm, that's what you're supposed to do, I think, when you see them play dead.
It was terrible. Everyone laughed at me. They thought it was so funny. I was sweating. You think I pulled it off my leg. It was this far from my nut. And when I pulled it off, you could see the little legs moving around. It's just attached to me.
Mm.
I've never had anyone that attached to me in my life. Be dating ticks.
All right. Well, we're sort of reaching the end. I would like to make it as fast as possible that we get off of this and then we go right to
Okay.
the video. I think that would be fun. This is a whole new thing.
Yeah.
John Weber finds Johnny Monaco hilarious, and
I love your grills.
Johnny. Say it again.
Said I love your grills.
Who's got a grill?
Weber. Never mind.
Oh, I thought you meant the teeth thing.
Oh, I have those. I actually have some of those, and they're in the I used to be in Enough's Enough video. If you see that when I put it out, I will be wearing grills. That's what the kids do.
This is a funny one. Luke says, "I've never seen you guys drinking. Does the RATT band drink?" Well, Stephen Piercy doesn't drink, but I will give you a teaser. In tonight's episode, Johnny Monaco has a few beverages that he did not like, and Matt has this thing called an AMF. If you don't know what AMF stands for, you will find out tonight. Actually, in
Yeah.
just a few minutes. People are excited to
Oh.
see Debbie Gibson. People are excited for the show. People like these live premieres. 2 minutes. We're going to get off of here. We're going to go. The link is in the description. It's very easy to find. Click on it
Okay.
and then go into the live chat. That's a new thing that the kids are doing.
I don't know what
Says
that is.
Johnny gets sick. Where do we
Don't get me
start?
started. I mean, I didn't throw up, but I was kind of nauseous. I mean, that boat was moving around for 2 days. It was just windy and kind of stormy. 2 days. You
Mm.
try moving around for 2 days, see what happens. I didn't like it.
A lot of
I'm
people
only
think
in,
AMF. Go ahead.
if, I only won't get sick if I'm actually driving the boat.
Right. Well, we're working on that. Captain Dracula. I learned that Captain Dracula's name is Pablo, by the way. Not as much fun.
No
Um,
shit.
Chris knows what it's called. Everyone who said it's called, everyone who thinks it's bowling is wrong. This is what it stands. Well, actually, that's wrong too. It's you'll watch the
What
show, you'll find out. Michelle explains it, and
what are you talking about? Oh, the beer.
the
I don't
AMF drinking.
I don't drink a lot because I don't feel good then the next day.
These drinks look like Windex, though, that people were drinking. I mean, that's what they looked like,
Oh,
or
I
Otter
don't drink them.
Pops.
I want to drink. If I had my choice, I would be drunk all the time, like Arthur, because that's fun. But then you got to
Mhm.
pay it back when you're not drunk. It's the worst. So I just don't even bother anymore.
All right, guys, if you enjoyed this, we could do more. I mean, maybe we'll do mornings, nights, evenings. I'll say this before we go. I kind of want to do like a slumber party where everyone wears pajamas. I know Johnny would play along. We'll all put on our pajamas. Maybe even some of you in the audience will have you pop in. We'll stay up late at night and we'll watch something on TV, maybe The Toxic Avenger or something that I know about. and
Okay.
we'll have an all-nighter and see what the hell happens. So that could be coming
Yeah.
soon, plus the auction. A lot of fun stuff with it. We should be more themes. I'd like to do like a Jerry Lewis telethon. I'll talk for a few hours. Johnny will talk for a few hours. Matt will talk for about a half hour and then not know what anyone's talking about. It'll be great. All right, Johnny, anything you want to say before we go to the live premiere?
And then at the end, I'll jerk off all over your feet.
And that'll be the
no.
end of the monetization.
Can cancel
Johnny,
that?
Cubs or White Sox?
Well, I'm from the north side, so I would have to go with Cubs.
All right, everyone. We've had fun. We'll do more. Over 300 people watching. I am very thankful. As I said, some people can't get 3 watching, and we will do it. We'll do this all again soon. Go to the link right now. I'll be in the comments. John will be in the comments. We'll all have a good old time. All right. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the world premiere. Thanks, Johnny.
Thanks.